Now, on some days, instead of starting with your first and second, you might start with the third and pinky, then go backwards, right? However it is that you want to do, or you might just focus on certain fingers, because you're going to find as you're doing this, 1 and 2 is pretty good, actually really good. 1 and 3, really good. 1 and 4, pretty good. 2 and 3, not so good. 2 and 4, not so good. 3 and 4, horrible, right? So 3 and 4 is an obvious choice that you want to start working on to try and develop the strength of all 4 fingers. God gave you 4 fingers. You want to use all 4 of these fingers when you play guitar. If you're currently only using 3, there's probably a reason for it. Now, if you don't have a pinky or something like that, or your pinky is really non-functional, it happens, then it's okay. You're going to have to figure out something else. I'm 5'2". I've had to go through my life figuring out what it's like to be 5'2", right? But if you do have these 4 fingers and they are relatively functional, you don't just want to go, well, my pinky doesn't work very good. Nobody's pinky works very good. It's developing strength in all of these fingers, and that's all these tendons, all these muscles and tendons that need to be strengthened over time. Okay? Now, the last exercise I want to show you is simply taking this hand and start synchronizing the whole thing together. Okay, and we can do groups of 2, groups of 3, and groups of 4. And there's a bunch of different mathematical groups that you can do. I don't want to bore you with this. I just want to make it logical for you. So for instance, the first one I'm going to show you would be the 4 grouping. All 4 of them. And then if you decide that you don't like this 4, like this finger still doesn't work, then we can break it down into a 3 grouping, or we can break it down into a 2 grouping. But let's start with the 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the first fret here and I'm going to play. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. When I get to the top, I'm simply going to move over 1 fret and I'm going to go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to move over 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to move over 4, 3, 2, 1. And so on. As far up as I want to go. I might even get all the way to the 12th fret. I usually go to the 12th fret, and then I'll turn around and come back. So then I'll do the same thing, coming back, all the way back down. Okay? Again, I don't want to waste your time with it. I just want you to think about that. So you might set your metronome. And so on, right? All the way across the board. Now, if I get done and I'm doing this again all the way up to 12 or up to 15 or up to 17, it's certainly important to play in these little frets because they feel kind of funky because they're so small. So don't always just play like the first 5 frets. You might choose, 1 through 5 and go back down if you don't have a lot of time, but then maybe one day you're going to choose 12 through 15 and do that. Okay? One day you might choose the whole fretboard. Again, that's entirely up to you. The trick is the more of this stuff that you do, the more you get used to the entire fretboard's environment. Thick strings, thin strings, big frets, little frets, all that kind of stuff, the easier this whole trip is going to be for you. So don't always feel like you got to do it in the same spot or on the same string or whatever. You got to explore these things, okay? And don't feel guilty because you should have done the whole fretboard, but today you only had time for, 5 frets. Do the best you can. A little bit is better than nothing. The American way is always to say, well, if I can't do the whole thing, then I'm just not going to do it. That sucks. You're better off doing something. Something's better than nothing all the time. Okay? So if you tried to do this 4-finger exercise at 160 or whatever it is you're trying to do it at, and it was too fast, then you're going to need to slow it down. If it's too easy, then you're going to need to speed it up. Okay? But if you do find that there's a particular finger each time that's giving you issues, like let's say the problem is still my third and my pinky, I could make a 3-finger exercise. Now, I'm going to go down, up, down, and I'm going to use 1, 3, 4. That way I'm encouraging the 3 and 4 to be used. I might slow my metronome way down and start developing the use of these 2 fingers more. So I'm going to go 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. Now, the way I'm picking this exercise is because there's 3 notes on each string, I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm doing alternate picking all the way through. That's the way I play. Okay, I don't go down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. That's called economy picking, and some people are very, very, very good at it. There's a fusion guitar player, rock fusion guy by the name of Frank Gambale, and he's just amazing at doing this economy picking, it's called. I can't do that. It doesn't feel good to me. So I alternate pick everything. When I play stuff. So, but anyway, whatever works for you, the goal is trying to synchronize. It's not just trying to play fast. These two hands have to make sense with each other. So starting with the 4 is the best way. And then you can go into groups of 3, whether you want to do 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 4 or whatever it is you'd like to do. And you can even go into just groups of 2. You might just do something like this where you're just using your third and your pinky. Okay. The point is I don't want you to make 50 million exercises so you feel like you've got to, practice for 3 hours. I want you to do some stretching. I want you to do some 3-minute exercises, 1 or 2 of these. I want you to do some 20-second stuff. Right there, you're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, right? That's all you've got there, depending on what you're doing. Okay. And then you're synchronizing of these two hands. At the very least, do the groups of 4. Okay, you don't have to do it all across the whole fretboard. You might just do a few of those. If you've got more time, then you might do a group of 3. If you've got more time, you might do a group of 2, and that's okay. But don't feel like you have to do all of it every day, and don't feel like you have to do all of it anyway, right? Again, let me stress, stretching, really important, okay? Water, that sort of thing, which is pretty easy because you can do that throughout the day, right? Right hand 3-minute exercise. Down picking, more important than alternate picking at this point. Develop that down picking. Okay, so there's 3 minutes right there. 20-second exercise. Most important thing you could practice with your left hand is that 20-second exercise. If you don't have a lot of time, practice the trouble spots. And then your third category, practice the groups of 4. If that's all you got time for, that's fine. Do some 4s and you're good. Move on with the rest of your day. If you've got time to break it down into subsections, then that's okay too. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, get you ready for every day. I promise you, I guarantee you that these exercises work. They're effective, but you've got to do them every day, okay? If you have a lot of problem with your left hand, you got a lot of problem with these 2 fingers, you're not very good at your picking, whatever it might be, your hands don't really synchronize, you can see how this really works. What I did incorrectly when I was younger is I had 50 million exercises. I had them taped to my walls, and I'm trying to do all this stuff. And it was like, well, this sucks because I'm not having any fun. All I'm doing is practicing exercises. Don't do that either, okay? Just find the core elements that you need the most. And if you decide to expand, that's fine. But you don't have to, all right? So practice hard. Stay positive. Okay, keep in contact with me. Let me know what's going on with your practice. Okay, get on Guitarzoom community page on Facebook and talk about these things, right? Find some other little tips and tricks that work for you and maybe share those with people, right? But keep the practice going. It's really, really important. So take care and I'll speak to you soon.